Welcome to the third episode of Kickstarters with Gadgetsu, a new series where we discover and test out cool new products from Kickstarter and Indiegogo. And for today's video, we have the Azio Cascade 98 wireless mechanical keyboards in both the standard and the low profile version. And if you don't know who Azio is, they are a keyboard brand that makes some really cool products, and you might even recognize these typewriter-like keyboards that became super popular a couple of years ago. Anyways, this video was supposed to come out in December while the Kickstarter campaigns were still running, but I unfortunately got very sick of COVID, then got busy at the start of my semester, so got delayed for a very long time. But these are still on Indiegogo and are great pre-built keyboards, so watch the review if you're in the market for one. And before we get started, I just wanted to say that these products were sent to me for review by the company, but they did not sponsor this video. I'm not doing any affiliate programs with them, and they don't get to tell me what to say or even see this video before you guys. So be rest assured that everything I say is my own honest opinion. Alright, enough talking. Let's get started. Starting with the unboxing, it comes in this sleek black box, and once you open the lid and take out the foam cover, you get a keyboard cable that's USB-C on both ends, but also has a USB-A adapter. Underneath that is also a keycap and switch puller. And finally, the keyboard itself with a standard version and a low profile version with the same unboxing experience. And finally, under the keyboard is a manual with all the instructions and hotkeys. Now that's done, as the name Azio Cascade 98 suggests, this is a full-size mechanical keyboard, which means that all the function row keys and full-size numpad is present, which is important for someone who needs to use those a lot. And with the 98% layout though, this keyboard is definitely pretty huge, but I can understand that it's as compact as a layout can probably get. There's also a 75% version that Azio is already selling for those of you who want something more compact. And there's also two keyboard models to choose from, the slim profile model and the regular profile model. The slim profile is extremely slim and low profile, which kind of makes it feel like a chiclet keyboard in the best way possible. The regular profile, on the other hand, is your standard mechanical keyboard size. The only difference between the two are the switches and the physical size, so all the features will remain the same in the review. Alright, let's talk about the build. These keyboards seem to use a full aluminum top case and a hard plastic bottom, making this keyboard feel solid with no flex whatsoever. The top case for both models also doesn't go fully up like traditional keyboards, leaving the switch stems exposed. It depends on personal preference whether you like the look or not, but I think it looks pretty cool, especially when the RGB is on, as it glows through a lot better. It also makes the keyboard look slimmer than it actually is. And speaking of size, it's not as heavy as you would expect, though it would have been nice if it was like slightly heavier for like a more premium feeling, as a slim version only weighs 2.45 pounds while a standard profile weighs 2.65 pounds. There are also 3 angle positions to choose from depending on whichever feels more comfortable for you, with 4 degrees being the case angle, 6 degrees for the first level feet, and 9 degrees for the second level feet. And lastly, colors. The Cascade Slim is available in Forest Light and Forest Dark colors, while the Cascade Regular is available in Galaxy Light and Galaxy Dark colors. I have both of the dark versions here, and I think they both look great, but my heart definitely goes out to the Forest Dark Cascade Slim because it just looks so sleek and premium, even though I usually don't like green products. Moving on to connectivity, the Azio Cascade 98 has so many options available, making it one of its best selling points. It's able to connect to up to 3 different Bluetooth devices, it has wired USB connectivity through its USB-C port, and something that you don't see very often, a USB-A RF receiver that's conveniently tucked away on the bottom of the case. This is actually super useful because you can get a wireless connection without sacrificing on the stability of the connection like on Bluetooth, which could be useful for something like gaming. There's also N-key rollover for all 3 models, including on Bluetooth, which is definitely a must-have feature. And if you don't know what that means, basically means that you don't have to worry about the keyboard not registering multiple key presses at the same time. I also like how there's like a light indicator on the right side of the keyboard to display the specific mode you're in. And as for the battery life, the regular model has a 4000 mAh battery, while a slim version has a 3000 mAh battery, which is supposed to last for a very long time. I've actually been using these 2 keyboards on and off for like a month now, and I haven't even charged any of them once yet, so there's that. And now that the features are out of the way, we can finally talk about the most important part of any keyboard, the typing experience. Both models come with Gateron G Pro switches in brown, blue, or red, and I have the G Pro browns here, which are tactiles, and they actually feel surprisingly good. Compared to the normal Gateron browns on my old Keychron K2, these definitely feel better and are smooth and satisfying to type on. This could also do with the fact that these switches are actually pre-lubed out of the factory, which is why they feel so smooth. The stabilizers are also surprisingly good without too much rattle, and all the switches sound good except for the spacebar on the full-size model, which definitely needs to sound more muted as I think it's too high-pitched. The low-profile model is the one that feels special though. I usually hate low-profile keyboards, but I don't know, this one just feels amazing and like super duper tactile for some reason, although it does take a lot of getting used to as I kept missing keys when I first started using it, but it's not a problem now. And of course, here's a sound test for both keyboard models for you keyboard warriors. I actually think they sound pretty good compared to a lot of the pre-built options on the market, and like for sure better than my old Keychron K2 and K6. These built-in foam dampeners definitely absorb the keys for less vibration and a less hollow sound, and both models are actually not very loud or piercing with these brown switches. The low-profile model is also quieter and more muted, which you should choose if you do work in an office setting. And also, if you do ever want to upgrade or switch the switches, the G Pro switches are hot swappable, making it very easy for you to make these changes. And the ABS keycaps on these keyboards are also decent, but they're not the greatest, though they are better than Keychron as they're not like paper thin in my opinion. And finally, the RGB looks really good on this keyboard, being very bright and vibrant while still being very uniform. There's 17 color modes to choose from, and there's no software required, which definitely removes an extra step to take care of. And lastly, the price. It's not on Kickstarter anymore for the early bird price, but it is still available on Indiegogo for pre-order as it is scheduled to be shipped in March. And at its current pre-order price of $120 USD, I actually think this is fairly priced considering what you're getting. It's definitely in the premium pre-built segment of the keyboard market, competing with companies like Keychron and Newfie, and while I can't comment on a latter, I personally like the Cascade series better than my Keychron K2, K6, and the low-profile K3 that I've either owned or tried myself. The low profile Cascade 98 definitely has a place in my heart though, and I recommend you get the brown switches for that tactile goodness, as it's seriously satisfying to type on. There's also the Cascade 75, which I mentioned earlier for those of you who want a smaller keyboard size. And that's basically it for the video. I really can't find any complaints about the keyboard, even though I really tried to, as I love roasting products. Let me know though if you guys have any questions about the two keyboards down below, and also comment what you think about this new Kickstarter series I'm doing. I don't know if I should continue it or not, because it doesn't really get that many views. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button, and also check out some of my other content on the channel. Anyways, have a good one guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.